Hello everybody and welcome to Pravus Gaming and more Offworld Trading Company. Got a bit of a confession to make. For this video, week 3, I lost all of the audio. So I'm going to be doing a voiceover on all this and trying to figure out what I was trying to say and do last time, which is going to be very confusing, but either way. What I'm trying to point out right now is that we did take a loan last time and that's why my stock price is so low, and yet it doesn't say I have any debt in the bottom right, so I'm not sure what the reason is behind that, but anyway. Alright, so we can see that we have some extra silicon available to us with European Union subsidies is our first option. And are we going to click on the next one? So silicon, yes, no, well, there's aluminum. Okay, gain some aluminum whenever we upgrade, which is pretty good. And that comes with the Russian subsidy. Aluminum's not bad because that actually means that we'll be able to upgrade a lot faster because we will always need aluminum. And then there's the magnetic storm, which I don't really care that much about. At this point, I think I'm trying to point out that Russia's pretty good because it reduces your labor costs. And now I'm looking at the resources that we know will be available, and we see that there is a claim available you can buy from the black market, which means I'm going to like this map. So now we're going to hire up some engineers. I'm trying to remember what I decided to go with here. I think I may have gone with the electrolysis, thinking that the extra oxygen probably will be pretty useful for us. There are elemental quarries available as well. We could always unlock the chemical refineries because we do not have those right now. But they would start off at pretty unproductive. I don't know. It could be good to diversify into a new market, or we could kind of specialize a little bit more. Can't really afford things at the Offworld company yet anyway. So, yeah, I think actually we go for the greenhouse and we go for the electrolysis. We're going for both food, oxygen, and fuel. We're doubling down on the strategy of different resources that require water in order to produce, because that should be a pretty good bonus for us. Alright, well, I think then we are going to move right on into the map. This is our competition. We have Anastasia, again, I hate her, Joji, and Frank Dawson. Not unfamiliar to us, actually, but okay. What am I trying to do here? I don't know. Nothing? Maybe something. Oh, right, I'm trying to point out it's an elimination round. Ah, this is where I got kind of scared. Right, okay. So I'm at the bottom right now of the stock prices, and starting at week 3 and beyond, every round they will be eliminating a player, whoever's at the bottom of the stock. So the fear now is, holy crap, I just took out that loan, I'm at the bottom of the stock. Does this mean that even if I win, I might get kicked out next time? I don't know. Kind of a scary thought. Spoiler alert, it doesn't, because I'm not at the bottom by the end of this. We actually do pretty well, but it was a reasonable concern, and if anyone knows the answer to that, let me know, because I actually would be very interested in finding out. Okay, so in this particular map type, we know that all corporations are able to found a scientific HQ. So we have that as an option. Scientific does require aluminum, steel, and glass, just like the expansive colonies do. However, if we did get the scientific, we'd be able to build, for example, a steel mill directly on the iron supply, and be able to forego the need for a metal mine altogether. Scientific is a very interesting playstyle, which I'm not sure if I'm going to go for, in the future series or not, but it is pretty interesting to play with. A lot less claims, though, and I love my claims at the end of the day. Right now we are searching for some of that beautiful aluminum, and I'm looking at this lake bed and thinking, oh wow, there is no water down there yet. Okay, I guess we'll move north and see if we can find a bit of a plateau or somewhere we can actually build. We're not finding a lot thus far. There's some water. Okay, we found some geothermal, we found some iron, we found some water. And this is where I'm thinking we need to settle down, because we should still have superconductor available to us, which means geothermal is extra valuable as long as it is close to our HQ. That's all the iron we probably will need, and we are close enough to some water that I figure we can probably get some adjacency bonuses pretty quickly, and we'll be connected to our HQ. So yeah, why not? Alright, so that's where we're going to settle down. No problem. Robotics have founded as well. Oh my god, right. So this is where I'm looking at this and thinking, holy freaking crap, there's a ton of metals up here, including aluminum and iron in the same tile, which is actually really, really good, and I'm thinking I want to grab one of those, but oh look, it's blocked for another, minute and a half. Oh, darn. Yeah, Anastasia's definitely in a position where she's going to have a wealth of metals. So I'm like, okay, do I want to get some iron first to start us off? Get some steel, because I know I'm going to need those. Let's get 2 of them, in fact, so we can get up to the water. And then I'm thinking, do we wait around, wait for the minute and a half it takes to unlock some of those aluminum and iron tiles? Maybe. Or do we go for something else like some water right off the bat? I'm not really sure. But I think ultimately I decided to wait for a little... No, wait. No, I didn't. Did I decide to go for the water? I decided to go for the water. Okay, but we do have the ability to upgrade right away. So, we're going to get some more claims. It doesn't make much of a difference. Okay, so now we have 5 more claims to work with. We're definitely going to need some more aluminum. Frank Dawson found it really close by, so we're going to snag up some of that water. I think we are trying to get some more food or something to make some money. Thinking that aluminum is so cheap right now. Yeah, I'd love to get an aluminum mine, but it's more important that I get a really strong income. So, let's see, 5 more seconds until we could get, say, that aluminum and iron tile right there, which is what I'm going for. So, we're going to wait a couple seconds. 1 more, and there we go. 1.12 aluminum and 0.75 iron. Now, the iron's not a huge deal, but that should be able to fund our 2 steel mills without much problem, and I'm still getting a reasonable influx of aluminum. So, that's what we go for. Steel mills are up, need to auto-supply those. We have 2 more claims to work with, and I think at this point I'm trying to decide what am I going to go for. Do we double down on this idea of going for the electrolysis, or do we go for more food? I think we go for food. Yep, there we go. Go for the food for the sake of the adjacency bonuses, and I think we get an electrolysis reactor next. We still have 1.125 water coming in now, but that's about to get reduced quite a bit by this second farm. I think it takes 1 per second, right? I don't know. The electrolysis definitely will require a 1 as well. Oh, right, and somebody used an underground nuke against me, as they are often prone to do, and there goes my water. So we decide, okay, fine, I guess that is a good thing I have a leftover claim, let's get some more water. Yeah, I'm not happy about it at this point. I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be this game all over again. I hate you, Anastasia, I know it's you. Hate you so much. Okay, we do have some core samples available, and I'm thinking, okay, well, we don't need more iron. It says we have a 94% chance. So if I try to build, like, let's say over here we see carbon or silicon. And the thought is, if I can find some silicon, oh, cool, it actually would be adjacent. I could have a connection directly to my HQ, and we can have the silicon we need in order to fuel up some glass kilns and not pay for any fuel, which I like. I like that a lot. We're still a little bit of ways away from being able to upgrade to level 3, so right now we're just trying to get some cash so we can afford to continue buying the oxygen and water that we need. Right now food is pretty profitable though, and we're making a fair bit of it, so yeah, feeling pretty good. And now I think I'm looking at Anastasia thinking, ooh, she just got targeted by a nuke. That sucks for her because she was relying heavily upon those metals. Maybe I should nuke her too, because I hate her. And I decide I'm going to do exactly that. Let's nuke her aluminum. And there we go. 2 of her claims rendered down to just trace amounts of nothing. Just to say, happy birthday, Anastasia. You know, I appreciate the gift you left me. And here's another one of my own. It's a flaming sack of crap. In the form of an underground nuke. Yeah. Geothermal vent will be very nice. The price of power is starting to go up a bit. So I'm thinking we're going to want to get that pretty soon. Probably the next time we get a claim, but I am waiting for a big influx of cash. I'm trying to sell off a little bit of food at a time right now, rather than sell off 100 at a time, which is what I used to do. Because, you know, I don't want to crash the market. I just want to kind of gradually tick down at it. You know, kind of keep it level. So that's kind of what we're doing. And I am making a fair bit of money. I'm making about $1,000 every time I click that button right now. In fact, I am making $1,000 every time. So it's working out pretty well for me. Hey, I am sorry, by the way, that I have to do this voiceover after the fact, because it's just as hard for me to figure out what I'm trying to do as it probably would be for you. We're getting a claim, and now I'm going to go for that geothermal, because we'll get 3 per second at $60 per rate of power. Should be pretty profitable for us. It's $180 a second, I like it. And we did put the Goon Squad on the geothermal with the anticipation that maybe the AI would want to target that later. I think they probably do. Oh, look at that. They've slowed down my steel in my greenhouse. Thank you. Less food and less steel. All right, well, on the plus side, we're going to start building up a little bit of a stockpile of water, just on the off chance I need it. But yeah, we'll just keep selling off some of that food. And, let's see. Don't need the excess iron, of course. Looking at the geothermal saying, well, look, it says that we make an extra, like, what, $91 in profit, but I don't know. All right, extra claim is going up for bid. I'm going to bid pretty aggressively on this in the idea that, yes, I can get claims off of the black market, but I know that the price of those go up, and I'll probably get like 5 or so claims that'll probably be worth like $20-some thousand from the black market by the end of the game. So if I'm willing to bid up to, you know, like $18,000 or so, In the long run, it probably is still cheapest. But we'll see. Looks like Frank Dawson's going to pick it up instead, and he is going to pick up a lot of debt, which I like, so okay. You know, the important thing is, remember, not only do I have to win, I have to win so resoundingly that my stock price is not at the bottom and I don't get eliminated from the game. So, the idea of Frank Dawson taking on a ton of debt and possibly working himself into a hole is a very attractive option to me. Alright, we just upgraded our HQ again. I'm going to sell off these extra electronics. And I guess we go for the electrolysis at this point. And we're probably going to get some more water as well, if I had to guess. Although water is extremely cheap right now, so it's not actually a big deal. Instead, nope, I'm going to keep buckling down on this electrolysis. Okay, makes sense. Water only costs like $10 per unit right now anyway. A lot of profit to be made buying water rather than producing it ourselves, so we'll see. What am I going to do with that extra claim, though? Do I decide to go down for more water? I know it's cheap, but the thought is that if we have insured ourselves against any fluctuations in the market by producing enough water on our own, well, that's probably a good thing, right? But I don't know. Instead, right now, I think I'm looking at the price of silicon going up and thinking, should I go for one elemental quarry, start building up a stockpile of silicon, and then next upgrade, I should go for glass? Would that be smart? Would it not? Do I want to go for the water anyway to make sure that the market can't kill me? No! I decide, screw it, we'll take the risk that the price of water will go up, we'll go for more food and make even more profit. Which I think actually was the right call in this particular case. We'll see if the price of water goes up at any point, that would suck, but, you know, right now, such huge profit margins, we might as well take advantage of that while we can. Excuse me. Okay, well, now what? Now I think we're just watching the prices and thinking, do I want to go for another claim? And the answer is yes, I do want to go for another claim. What did I get with this one, though? Did I decide to go for the water after all? Because right now I'm using 4 per second. That is a lot of water. Oh, magnetic storm. Those things are scary. Destroyed a whole bunch of vehicles that were in the air. Yeah, I think I end up going for another water pump here just to make sure that I can't get screwed over. Because right now the price of water is going up, and I'm anticipating that it will continue to go up at some point. You know, eventually it's going to be pretty high. So what we're doing right now, even though I won't be making a lot of money out of that water pump, is if the price gets sky high, I won't go into crippling amounts of debt. I'm basically just kind of giving myself some extra insurance options, that's all. Playing it safe. Do we need the water right now? No, but we'll be okay. One thing I do like about this, though, is we have almost all of our buildings completely attached to our HQ. The only exception being our aluminum mine. And that's pretty fun for us. Somebody's trying to sabotage Anastasia while boosting up Frank Dawson, and I'm thinking maybe I should get something to screw with one of them. You know, hurt Anastasia a little bit more. I don't want her to be a competitor for much longer. There's another magnetic storm. Those things look really cool, but whew, they catch you off guard, you know? A little bit. Nah, I don't know. I don't even know. Alright, we have a lot of food building up, and I need to sell a lot of it off, but I'm producing it so fast I can't sell it without crashing the market, so I'm trying to be kind of aggressive in selling it off, but not overly aggressive and kind of shooting myself in the foot. But anyway, the black market's back online. Do I go for another claim right now, or what am I doing? I'm thinking something. I'm thinking really hard about the water situation and wondering if I want to get another claim and get another water pump, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Okay. So again, I am insulating myself against the possible outcome that the price of water is going to skyrocket, and I'm going to be in a terrible position. Because right now we are draining 3 per second. That's a lot. So we'll see. Now I'm selling off a whole bunch of resources because I have plenty of oxygen and fuel building up. Need a few thousand more dollars before I can upgrade my HQ and get some more claims, which should be fine. Wind turbine engineer has no practical use for me because I do not build wind turbines. So somebody else is going to get that. Let them take on the debt. I don't care. Looks like it's probably going to be Frank Dawson again. He's already down to a B rating, which means he has a lot of debt. So taking on a bit more, it's a risky play for him, but go big or go home, right? Something like that. And now I'm looking at Anastasia thinking, how many other ways can I screw you over? She's relying very, very heavily upon metals in this particular game. There's her silicon building. And I think I'm wondering if I should, like, nuke her silicon so that she can't diversify into the glass market. Because right now she's producing so many metals I'm suspecting that the price of metals will be pretty low for most of this game. So, is she screwing herself over? And if I destroy her silicon supply, am I screwing her over so she'll never be a threat this game? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Right now we're selling off some extra excess resources. We're going to upgrade, get 5 more claims, and try to decide what to do from there. I think I go for the silicon here. Yes, I do. I'm going to go for 2 so I get the adjacency bonus. That means I'll be producing 1.5 silicon per second. Now I'm going to go for some glass. I'm trying to figure out the positioning of it so I can get a good adrenaline boost and make really good use of that. Also, I'm looking at purchasing like some slowdown strikes, but I don't think I actually do that, at least not yet. So glass kilns, like so. We have 1 more claim to work with. Excuse me. What do I decide to go for? I can't remember if I decide to double down and get another glass kiln. Yes, I do. Okay. Well, that makes sense. We're producing plenty of oxygen. We should be producing plenty of silicon in order to fund those. So they're pretty much free from here on out as long as I have enough water to fuel up the electrolysis reactors. Which means I should make plenty of money. Also, oxygen is quite valuable right now, which I like a lot. I do like that. I see that the black market is open. I'm trying to decide what to do with it at this point, I think. Is that what I'm doing? It's so hard to just to try and remember everything you did once upon a time. I think I go for the slowdown strike. I'm trying to think of screwing over Anastasia. There we go. Slow her down. So now, she's producing very little metal and very little steel. So her life kind of sucks right now. Sell off some of that extra food. Price of water is starting to go up. But we're producing plenty of it right now because we are relying a little bit on electricity in order to power our HQ instead of water, because the price of water is higher than the price of electricity, and we already know that if the price of power is lower than water, then the AI automatically switches over to using up your electricity instead. Circuit overload was attempted on us at the geothermal plant. Now I have one to use, trying to decide what to do with it, if anything. I could screw with him, because, you know, punishment, payback for what he did. Putting it on the wind turbine would not get very much, so now I'm looking for my other opponents. Where's Joji 5? Yeah, there's Joji 5. He's got a lot of electrolysis right now. And I'm thinking if I use my circuit overload, I can make him use up a ton of extra power, which will increase the price of power quite a bit, and I can actually make a fair bit of money out of that. So that's what I go for. Just because, you know, Frank Dawson's already taken on a lot of debt, Anastasia's already being hit. We might as well hit Joji a little bit to just kind of distribute my wrath upon all my opponents a little bit more evenly. Price of silicon is really high right now, 101. That is amazing, actually. Means that we're not going to make a ton of profit off of the glass, unfortunately, but oh well. Now, Frank Dawson decided to buy something, I think, for the colony, which I think is ridiculous, because, you know, he's still got a ton of debt on him. I mean, yeah, he did get to level 5, so I guess he might as well spend some cash on that, but still. Oh no, another nuke. And they targeted more water. Of course they did. What else would they target? Now that the price of water is starting to go up. Quite a bit, actually. But oh well. I think this means we're probably going to go for another colony. There's another claim, and there's a water pump in order to make up for the water we just lost. The one in the middle actually should get some massive production bonuses right now, so we're going to produce plenty of water, I think. Plenty. But we can't get much more and still maintain these adjacency bonuses, so hopefully people will chill the heck out and stop it with their stupid nukes. How did you even smuggle a nuke onto Mars? Did anyone think about this? I don't think anyone's thought about this. I'm crashing the fuel market because I want the cash. Because we had way too much fuel, but we actually have way too much food right now too, but I'm not sure when I'm going to notice that. Selling off some of the excess glass, trying to get up to level 5. And I'm questioning whether or not we want to start buying some modules. No, wait, I'm just checking to see what kind of modules we have. So we know we have chemicals, electronics, and power. So going for the office modules is what's really attractive to me, because I don't make chemicals or electronics, but I do produce power. Mostly, though, I think we're going to go for habitat modules because, well, I'm going to want the price of water, food, and oxygen to stay relatively high. Water engine. Ships in off-world markets are powered with water. Did I go for this? I can't remember if I went for this or not. I mean, we are relying very heavily upon water already. I could try to get this and save myself the fuel. The thing is that fuel is cheaper than water right now. So I think I actually was bidding on that just to kind of force my opponents to spend more money. but I actually have no interest in the water engine right now anyway, because I should produce more than enough fuel, and fuel is going to be cheap for the rest of the game. Still need a few thousand more dollars. Trying to sell off some of the oxygen, sell off some of the food. A bit more. Still expensive, though. Good lord. These upgrades, when the price of steel is so high. There it is. Okay, do I go for it? I go for it. Okay, we have no cash left, but now we have 6 more claims to work with. I think I double down and get more glass. I think I also get more food. And do I go for more water and stuff? I can't remember. We're going to find out. This is just as much a mystery as it is for you. Mystery for me as it is for you is what I was trying to say there. I suspect my words did not come out very eloquently. Yep, there's a glass kiln. Okay, so we did go for the water. We did go for the glass. I feel like we're going to... The question is, do we want to go for more food? Because right now we're already producing so much food that I can't sell it very reliably without taking the price down. So I'm debating that to myself right now, and also wondering if I should go for some more electrolysis. Or maybe there's another market that I'm not, like, paying attention to right now. I don't think so, though. I think I end up going for more glass. Do I? Well, what? Nope, I'm talking about something. I like to monologue in these games a lot, don't I? As I'm watching this, it's just kind of like, oh, look. He's not doing anything. He's just talking. Which is actually fine, I think, for the purpose of the... Oh, I go for more water. What? Wow. I doubled down hardcore on the water thing. I forgot entirely about that. All right. So at this point, I rationalized to myself, okay, fine. The price of water is probably going to go up, which means having more water pumps is going to be a good thing. Even if it doesn't go up, I can have so much water and really double down on this food and oxygen thing that we should be fine financially. At least that was my rationale. So yeah, we're producing an absolute ton of water right now. Well, not really. Okay, so here's the funny thing, like, we have a ton of water pumps, but we're only producing 0.05 water per second right now. We're just really, really focusing this game on resources that require water in order to gain or grow. Do I go for a nuke? I think I'm debating getting a nuke on somebody to screw them over. Looking at Anastasia, looking at her water, thinking, ooh, I could crash the price. I could crash her water supply. That wouldn't be so bad. There's some water over here for Frank Dawson as well. Yeah, I think I'm trying to crash water right now and reduce other people's ability to produce oxygen and so on. Make them go into debt buying out the water. And the more they buy, the higher the price of water. Either way, it's a win for me. I'm producing enough to be fine. And if food is no longer profitable, hey, I can just sell water. So either way, I'm kind of hedging my bets right now. Selling off some of the excess glass and all sorts of other resources so I can buy more habitat modules. Habitat modules, of course, do require food, water, and oxygen to run, so those are 3 resources you know are going to be increasing a little bit in price. And since those are the 3 that we have focused most of our efforts on, it makes a lot of sense. What am I going to do now? I'm looking at electronics and really wishing that I was able to build electronics. Somebody already did. I think Anastasia is already working her way into the electronics market. I'm watching her on the top of the screen right now, and yeah, that's exactly what she is doing. Buy more office modules, keep the price of glass high. I may not be able to compete on the market for electronics and stuff, but I can increase the demand for glass.
The black market is
and that is my secondary income method. Now we're actually amazingly using a little bit more water than we were previously, but that's partially because the price of water has dipped below the price of power, so now my company has switched to using water and selling the electricity. Not sure how long it's going to stay that way, though. I'm thinking something right now. What am I thinking? I can't remember. Oh, look, another underground nuke. Why not? This time they got my aluminum and my iron. But that's fine, I no longer require a lot of aluminum or iron. Of course, now we have a deficit of iron, but whatever. If I need to turn off the steel mills, I can always do that. It's not a huge deal to me. We have a ton of water building up here as well. Lots of glass. Plenty of fuel. I'm honestly amazed that the price of fuel has been as steadily high as it has this game. We've been producing a ton of it. So we're looking at an adrenaline boost and thinking to myself, what would I use this for? If I use it on something like the electrolysis reactor, I'm going to use up more water, but we have a stockpile of water already. So if I place it over here, I can get all of my electrolysis reactors running in overdrive. Yeah, now I'm using up 3 water per second. That's fine. There's so much profit to be had out of that because the price of water is so low, I don't care. Alright, Optimization Center. We're bidding on this sucker. The Optimization Center is a great building. It's a little bit like a patent lab or something like that. I'll kind of show what it does in just a second. And we got it. We got it for $18,000. It's not too bad. So if we click here, we see that we can spend money, or chemicals. We're going to buy chemicals and use them in order to research better efficiency for some of our buildings. So I think, what am I going for? Am I going for the water production here? I think I do. Yeah, I need to get $3,000 to buy 20 chemicals. And then if I click this button, it will research improving the efficiency of my water pumps by 25%. Or wait, do I go for oxygen? Yeah, I decided to go for oxygen instead. Since I've already got the electrolysis reactors boosted with the adrenaline boost, then I figured, okay, well, if I can get even just a few seconds of better oxygen production, there's so much profit to be had, that would be a better thing to do. So now we just have to wait for that to go through. But all in all, that's not too bad. Price of power and water are both extremely low right now. Extremely low. Which isn't so bad. You know, it's fine. I'm not making a lot of money off my power, but oh well. Sell off the extra resources, pay off my debt. Now we are debt-free. Somebody call Dave Ramsey. Or something like that. I don't know. Okay, so the optimization for oxygen should be done very soon. We're producing 1.8 per second right now. And that should go up to 2.47. So we're producing about 0.6, 0.7-ish oxygen more per second. All in all, considering the price of oxygen is as good as it is, that's a great haul for us. I'm improving my glass production as well, because right now the price of silicon is so low that we should be able to make a pretty hefty profit off of glass as well. Someone used a slowdown strike on me on my optimization center. I'm just thinking to myself, okay, fine. I mean, slowing down my optimization sucks. But I'd rather you did that than, you know, use all my glass or my reactors. Those are my main money makers. And now I'm looking at the price of food spiking and I'm wondering, holy crap, what's happening there? But okay, I'm on board. Anything that makes me tons of money. Although right now we do have so many people. Actually, am I trying to get some aluminum? Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I'm sitting on a mule in order to get some aluminum so I'll be able to buy my habitat map modules a little bit cheaper, because those do require 20 aluminum each. That said, though, there are more habitat modules than there are workplaces, which is not good for the longevity of the colony because it means that we have a bunch of unemployed people. So the value of the colony itself is not going to increase if you have more habitats than you do workplace. In the same way that you're not going to have the value of the colony increase if you have more workplaces than habitat because there aren't enough workers. You really want to have a balance, and I'm not doing a very good job of that right now, but I'm looking at that thinking, okay, let's fix that. Let's get some of these office colonies, or modules, I'm sorry, so that I can get a better profit from my glass, which is about to be finished optimizing. Oh my gosh. Ugh, the words! The words, they suck so bad in my mouth! Okay, we've improved our glass output to 2.25, and yeah, we are using up more silicon than we are producing, but that's fine. I can fix that a little bit by optimizing my silicon. And I'm looking at the price, the increasing price of silicon and thinking, okay, so that's actually could be a worthwhile investment if the other players are also using up a lot of silicon, which it looks like they are because the price is steadily increasing, and I know that Anastasia is building a lot of electronics modules, so that makes sense to me. So improving my optimization there so that I don't get into debt is not a bad idea. I don't care about the magnetic storm, so I'm going to ignore that entirely. I'm just trying to get a lot of money at this point. We have 15 modules compared to Anastasia's 7, and she's in second place right now, so I'm feeling pretty confident where we are. Joji has a fair number of chemicals producing, which is fun, and right now I'm looking at their stock prices and thinking, okay, hang on. So I need to find the person with the highest stock price and slow them down, because that's a pretty good indicator of score and wealth, even though Joji's only on a level 4 HQ for some reason. But we were able to hit every single one of his buildings. So that really sucks for him. And it's awesome for me. Should actually drive up the price of oxygen and fuel a tiny bit. Tiny bit, if we're lucky. But anyway, talking to myself right now, probably gloating about how I've just screwed over Joji in the final couple days of the game. And there's a magnetic storm. Just blew up a bunch of my ships. A lot of people are transitioning into electronics right now. That is interesting. Sell off the fuel, because we don't need that. Sell off the oxygen, sell off some food, sell off the glass, make some money, and buy another office. And that's all I'm doing right now, is just raising as much money as possible, get as many modules as possible, as early as possible, so that the price of glass will go back up. Because it did kind of plummet. It's down to 180 right now, and silicon is worth 100. So that optimization actually worked out really well for us in the fact that it's going to save us a bit of money, because price of silicon has just skyrocketed. I'm looking at the steel and wondering if it's valuable enough for me to optimize, or if maybe I want to go for something else that's a little bit better. You know, do I want to go for food, for example? Food would make some sense, except I'm making so much and selling it so fast that the price is crashing. So maybe I don't. Maybe I go for steel, and I do, because right now there's a fairly hefty profit to be made out of steel. So okay. Anastasia built a pleasure dome. She's making $168 per second. Good for her. Got hit by a slowdown strike again. Not sure if I do check for this one. I'm pretty sure it's the optimization center that got hit, as usual. It always does, man. They always go for that optimization center. They're terrified of what's going to happen if I have that building. They love going for patent labs too, by the way. Or hacker arrays. Or off-world markets. Basically, any special building you have, the AI loves to target. Which actually isn't always a bad thing. Again, I'd rather they targeted my optimization center than my my glass kilns or something else that makes a ton of money. Right now, oxygen is in shortage, so the price of that is going way up. Way up, in fact. And I'm thinking, hey, here's an opportunity for some serious money. We could go for a nuke, we could go for a claim, we could go for a lot of things, or, better yet, since this is the last day, maybe I save my money and go for more modules. Yes, I'm getting more habitat modules, I'm aware. And it's kind of unbalanced. I really, really do need more workplace modules. So, I'm aware of that, but I just wanted to get something cheap that keeps the price of food and oxygen high, because that's primarily how I'm going to be making my money to buy these office modules. Still, I'm not sure if it was worth the 26k or whatever the heck it was. No, I'm sorry. Close to like 38k. Yeah. Too many habitats. Definitely need to get more office buildings. But the office buildings are expensive. Now they're up to 42k. Can sell off more food. I'm running out of resources to sell off, though, except for food. And again, price of food could collapse if I sell too aggressively. So we're kind of sitting back, letting power make me some money right now, because power is up to $100 per second, so I'm getting $300 per second just out of my geothermal plant. Superconductor can be really good in that way. It really, really can. Sell off the food. Sell off the, no, oxygen. I am optimizing oxygen one last time, but I think I end up canceling this deciding that it was not worth the cash investment if it's already the last day, and I'll get like, what, 5 seconds of oxygen production. So I think I'm going to end up canceling it to get my money back. I think. But not yet. Not yet. Right now, we're just selling off everything I can and aggressively buying out more modules. We have 21. Anastasia has 10. So we are in pretty good shape. Again, though, I'm looking at these habitats thinking, man, we have way, way, way too many of these stupid habitat modules. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do about that? Well, sell off our aluminum, apparently. I'm thinking I can probably eke out one last module before the end of the day. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to raise $44,000 somehow. I want to sell off just enough glass so that I still have the 20 I need to build the office module and don't have to buy it back. But I can also make some money. And this is where I think I'm going to cancel off the optimization. Yep, I do. I get my money back, or rather, I get my chemicals back. I'm going to have to sell those off. But there is a shortage right now, which means that the price of that is going to be going up. So, okay, we're up to almost 40,000, which will be pretty close to enough to buy that office module. But I'm letting these shortages bump up the price as much as possible because there's only a couple of hours left in this game. Selling off the food. And we're actually pretty close to balance now. Pretty close. Now it's going to come to the point where I'm going to sell off everything I have and try to get one last module, but I'm waiting until about 2330 or 2400. 2430 is when the day ends, so we're at 2400 now. We are 20 minutes away from the end of the game. We are selling off all the glass, most of it anyway. Gonna keep a teensy bit for myself. There we go. Sell off all the chemicals, which I'm just sort of realizing I had. Sell off the steel, and everything else, because nothing matters. One last module. There we go. 23, and bam, that's the end of the game. Alright, a victory for me. Not bad. That actually was a pretty solid round all across the board. 23 modules opposed to, let's see, 26. So we had almost half of the modules in the game. 46% of the colony's worth will be going to me. That's another 287,000, plus the aluminum shipments, which means it's going to be a lot easier for me to upgrade. And Anastasia is the one who got eliminated, and we are back up there with our stock price. I'm not sure what happened to our debt. It almost would seem like our debt is gone. But there we are. We're doing just fine. And I don't know exactly what I just picked up. I missed it entirely. I was talking about something else. Scavenger. I got the Scavenger HQ, I think, because I wanted to have more options on the off chance that iron was scarce on a map. But anyway, that's the end of that. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry for the voiceover on this one. I'm going to be picking up my normal schedule from here on out. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.